What's up guys and welcome, I'm Zimmy Games, and 2019 was filled and packed with a lot to get gamers excited. So many games released, from old favorites like Gears 5 and Kingdom Hearts to brand new IPs like Apex Legends and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And as the year is ending, a lot of your favorite YouTubers and media outlets will be releasing their top 10 best games of 2019, and I'm so excited to be doing this for my own channel as well. And you definitely will not agree with all of my picks, I'm sure, so after watching this video, please feel free to post your personal top 10 games of 2019 down in the comment section below. But enough talking, and let's jump straight into the video. First up, in the 10th spot, we have a game I think a lot of people overlook this year, but is a definite winner if you are a hardcore fan of role-playing games, and this game is called Greedfall, a game that combines colonialism with fantasy. This game is not perfect by any means, and it definitely copies a lot of what other successful RPGs have done, with the combat being a close mixture of Dragon Age and The Witcher, and the exploration elements of the game following right out of Fable's playbook. But either way, I had to add it somewhere on this list, because for all of its faults, it still does more than enough right to warrant a place on this top 10 list. Next up, in 9th place, we have a game that I'm sure many people will be screaming at me for, and that is Kingdom Hearts 3. And let me say that this game is fantastic. The graphics and artwork are well made. The music for this game is probably the best music out of any game of 2019 in my opinion. But for my personal taste, I thought this game was a bit lengthy and sort of button mashy. But regardless of my personal taste, this game still deserves to be on the list, and so here it is. In 8th place, we have a true time sponge that dedicated players will end up spending hours to be the best in, and that game is Atlas. And some of you are saying, Zimmy, this game came out in 2018, and you are absolutely right, but it was also released in early access on the Xbox One in 2019, so here it is on this list. If you're unfamiliar with this game, think Ark Survival Evolved, but more piratey. This game isn't going to be for everyone, but in my opinion, this is truly the game Sea of Thieves should have been, and it is a crap ton of fun, so for those reasons, I'm going to go ahead and include it on this list. Next up, in the 7th spot, is a game that got a lot of flack earlier this year, and that is Crackdown 3. And I agree, it's not the most perfect game. The multiplayer on release didn't have friend matchmaking. The game was pretty short, taking me about 10 hours to finish, but man, did I have fun with this game. Running and jumping from rooftop to rooftop, absolutely obliterating all my enemies in a fireball of glory, was just fantastic. And this game made me feel very nostalgic, almost like I was 14 years old again playing Saints Row 2, and for all the things that this game did right, regardless of what it did wrong, I had to include it on this list as well. In the number 6 spot, we have another game that some of you were probably going to say, hey, this released in 2018, and the first episode of this game did release in December 2018, but all the other episodes, as well as the collector's edition that comes with all episodes included, came out in 2019. For that reason, Life is Strange 2 is getting the number 6th spot. And this extremely narrative-driven Telltale-like clone deserves every bit of being on this list. The characters are relatable and lovable, the stakes for this game are high, and it's easily one of the most impactful games released in 2019. And for it being the amazingly well-crafted game that it is, and a game that truly pushes the industry forward, it had to show up on this list. Next, in 5th place, is a game that many of you will definitely place higher on your personal lists, and that game is Gears 5. I really enjoyed this game, as many of you guys did as well, but I personally thought it could have done more. The voice acting and combat was amazing, the multiplayer is one of the best that we've seen since Gears of War 3, but this game still fell a bit short for me, especially with the pacing of the main story. But regardless, and even with all the hate that this choice will bring me, I have to place Gears 5 in the 5th place. Next is a game from one of my all-time favorite developers, and that is The Outer Worlds. And this game is landing 4th place because it's just really good. The story is great and the combat has some real depth to it, and it's not every year that we get a Fallout-like RPG from the Legends of role-playing games Obsidian. I mean, how could you not put one of the best role-playing games of this year on this list? It's just something that had to be done. Next, in a number 3 spot is a game that had many of us worried, and that is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And just because I'm giving this game 3rd place doesn't mean that I'm taking EA off of my naughty list. They are still one of the worst, most anti-consumer friendly publishers out there. But Jedi Fallen Order is still a fantastic game. Of course, it has quite a few bugs, but the gameplay is tight and thoughtful, very reminiscent of the Dark Souls games, and there has been very few games that really make you feel like a Jedi. So for this and the great story that this game provides, my Star Wars fandom, and the fact that I want to give credit where credit is due, I had to put this game on this list. The number 2 spot was really hard to rank, and to be honest, really almost all of these games were super hard to rank, but in 2nd place I have to give it to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And look, I know this looks bad, this looks really bad, and I can already read the comments now, oh look what a COD fanboy, but this really isn't the case. The multiplayer is good, of course. I wish that the time to kill was a little bit lower than what it is, but the multiplayer is still really well made. But what really got this game so high on the list is the single player campaign. It was easily one of the best single players that I've played all year long, and the fact that they don't hold back their punches and they show you a realistic approach to what modern combat is really like earns even more stars for me. In my opinion, this is one of the best Call of Duty campaigns ever made, and for that reason, I had to give this game 2nd place on this year's list. And before I go to my number 1 spot on this list, I want to do some honorary mentions for some games I either didn't play or I just thought fell kinda short of earning a spot on this top 10 list. And those games are Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Resident Evil 2, Apex Legends, Black Desert, Tropico 6, The Division 2, World War Z, Mortal Kombat 11, Metro Exodus, Rage 2, and the recently released Ancestors: A Humankind Odyssey. And nothing should take away from how great these games are, but for one reason or another, they just were not able to make it on this year's list. But getting back on track to the number 1 spot, my game of the year, the best game of 2019, in my opinion, is A Plague Tale: Innocence. And if you guys remember when I said it was hard for me to rank these games, well, that was a bit of a lie, because this game was not in the least bit hard for me to rank. In my opinion, there is no other game released this year that comes close to A Plague Tale. It is a short game that will take you anywhere from 10 to 20 hours, but the story is absolutely positively fantastic, the graphics are beyond beautiful, and the gameplay is terrific with puzzle, stealth, and light combat. When I reviewed this game earlier this year, I said that this game rivals The Last of Us, and I still believe that to 100% be true. It's very rare for me to be this passionate or strong-willed over a game, but what A Plague Tale does, it does right. Every aspect a game should ever be judged on, it hits its mark, and it does it exceptionally well. And for all these reasons, there wasn't any other game that came out this year that I believe deserves the number 1 spot like A Plague Tale: Innocence. And with that said, I will end the video with that. I know not every game is how you guys would have ranked it in your top 10 list, and for that reason, be sure to comment down below with your personal top 10 games of 2019. I really want to read what your guys' favorite games were this year, so definitely make sure to comment that down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, as it will definitely help other people find this video. Hit that subscribe button if you never want to miss out on any new videos. In addition to videos like this, I also do gaming news, tutorials, unboxings, and game reviews, so never miss out on any of that, and hit that subscribe button. As always, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Peace out, guys.